pleased to be here with Hamid Moghadam, Chairman of A&B Property Corporation. A&B is a leading owner and developer of logistics and distribution facilities in major metropolitan markets in 15 countries across the globe. I'd like to start by asking you to share with us a little bit about your company and your strategy.
We started the business back in 1983, and originally we were a private investment manager. And in 1997, we converted to a REIT structure and went public in a very innovative transaction at that point in time. And for some time, we owned a combination of industrial and retail assets. We exited the retail business in late '99, and since then we've been focusing on industrial real estate, originally in the key hub and gateway markets, port and airport markets in the U.S., and then starting about 2002, we expanded that business into Europe, Asia, and now the Americas.
Understanding that an important component of A&B's business is outside the U.S., how has the global economic slowdown and contraction impacted your business?
It's an excellent question, and usually when there is a downturn, you have some countries doing well and some countries doing poorly. This downturn is very different. It's a synchronous downturn pretty much everywhere around the world. Sometime around September, seems like that all of the major economies of the world fell off the cliff because of the financial crisis. It's interesting to watch these economies and to see how they're coming back. For example, today as we sit here, it's pretty clear that China's coming back very strong and is going to have growth rates in the 7, 8, 9% per year range. The U.S. is a little closer to recovery. Europe and Japan are further behind. So it's a major downturn and affected all the different countries. Our customers are not insulated from that. Obviously, they are in the business of moving goods in the supply chain, and to the extent that end consumption is reduced, as it did in the last quarter of last year and the first quarter of this year, trade flows slow down as well. In fact, trade flows slow down at a rate that's almost 3 times as much as the slowdown in end consumption. That's only happened a couple of times in the last 50 years. And the interesting thing is that every time you look at one of these downturns and the year after, you see that global trade gets right back on track and actually makes up the volume that was lost during that downturn.
Hamid, you shared with us that A&B started as a private company, and you have a history of successfully raising capital in both the public and the private markets. Recently, you came to the market with a follow-on offering. Can you share with us some of the factors that went into your decision to issue a secondary offering in the current market?
It was clear that with the decline in values and the financial crisis, balance sheets were getting stressed, not because companies were over-leveraged. We were levered in the high 30% range before the downturn, and that's modest leverage by any real estate standards. Nonetheless, if you have low levels of leverage, but you have some maturities coming up, and there is no banking system to finance that, you could run into trouble. So raising equity and being in a position to pay off all our obligations with cash all the way through 2013, giving ourselves a 4 or 5 year runway and delevering the company was a very important consideration in that decision. On the other hand, selling equity at a low price is very dilutive to existing shareholders, and like many other REITs, we have a very significant insider ownership of the company. The management team does. So it's obviously something that we take very seriously because it has all kinds of professional and personal consequences. But net on balance, we thought that having one of the strongest balance sheets in the business, which we now have, was going to be a very important tool going forward and was going to be able to put us in a position of playing offense on the other side of this downturn, perhaps sooner and in a stronger way than we would have otherwise.
Thank you, Hamid.